It's a hit. Dibuka. Lied to Caro. Lied to.
What?
I don't know what it is. No. Nobody.
This would sound so good in a car, like full blast.
Yeah, of course. Okay, enough. Okay, no, it's my favorite part.
Oh my god. Oh,
Let's put Nyambu.
I don't know.
Steamer Malay.
I think we should do song analytics. Song analysis.
Definitely.
Like break up the words.
Yeah. Lyrical breakdown.
From now on, why don't we just look at the lyrics?
Hey. Lied to. So this is currently our favorite song. Mbwanang hardly listens to local music, but with this song, she plays it in the house, in the car. Okay, Agria, you have a select few local songs or local bands or artists that you listen to that music. But with this one, it's been non-stop. You've been playing it in the car, you've been playing it in the house. And so yeah, I'm really proud to see you listen to local music. Yeah. Supporting local. Welcome to Doek&Tie. My name is Bukamoso. This is my beautiful wife, Bonang. Apologies for uploading a bit late. Life happened, you know, sometimes you have like a plan, and then, you know, during those plans, life happens. So thank you very much. Yes, like you'd have an idea of what you're going to do. You're going to go from point A to B to C. And then all of a sudden you're moving from D to F. Like, what happened? Yeah. Life happened. So thank you so much for being patient with us and clicking on this video. Yeah, we appreciate the love. If you're watching this on Facebook, do not forget to like the page, Doek&Tie, as well as following it. I've never really known the difference between liking a page and following it, but do both. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and leave a comment on the comment section, and also the little notification bell so that you never miss anything that we upload on YouTube. Right. Yeah, so what's up? How are you? I'm making it a habit to ask you how you are.
I'm okay.
That doesn't mean I don't have to ask you.
Okay.
You're cold. Are you sure you're okay? You've just been. Salo, what that tema? What's that? What that tema? What that tema? Salo, that tema, but not. You're cold. Like super cold. Drip is forever. So today, man, you know, we decided to talk about something a little serious, something that I think.
We don't talk about serious things.
No, we try to vary the episode. Sometimes we do laid back things. Sometimes we try and step it up a bit and, you know, just talk about serious things. So today is one of those days where it's gonna get a little serious, and you know, of course, it'll be our opinion, and
we'd like to hear yours.
Yeah. So without dilly-dallying about it. I want to be talking about finances, from our perspective, from our perspectives and what we've seen ever since being married. I think we've agreed that there's some key elements telling whether they make a marriage or a serious relationship or even a friendship work. One of them being communication, sex, what else? Finances, and how you deal with external parties. So these 4 things, or these 4 elements, even when having conversations with other people who are married, these always come up. It's over. Like there's no coming back from that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over them again in a marriage, right? I'll say it in our context: communication, sex, finances, and dealing with external parties. Yes, I don't know if that analogy works, but those 4 things, very key. You should make sure that you and your partner have them bedded down and you talk about them as much as you can, and you keep your word when it comes to them. So today we decided, let's just take one of them, being finances, and let's not shy away from that. Yeah. So first thing is first, we're going to talk about not just us, but experiences that we've had from other people and conversations that we've had with other people.
But not necessarily manyalo, even with relationships.
Yeah.
And that transition from dating and then eventually getting married. What changes, if anything changes? Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect. In our journey, consulting different people, I think it's in this very platform that we came and said marriage is it's a white canvas. So you essentially, you and your partner decide but in also doing that, it doesn't hurt they came before you. We're not the first people to get married, right?
And certainly not the last.
Yeah. So we've from long back, what are those challenges? What are those things that you can look back and say, if I'd done 1, 2, 3 better, would be in a better position or what? And one of the conversations that always come up is finances. It's not just you, it's not just us who find it difficult to talk about finances, to be honest about finances, and definitely sharing finances, it brings in another layer of complexity, right? So the system is or how people deal with money in marriage. I'll mention a few that I know, then you can also mention a few that you know, right? From conversations that I've had, scenario month end, and you'd have both partners sitting down. You bring your paycheck, I bring my paycheck. Babe, this is how much I made this month. Ulena, this is how much I made this month. Let's make a budget. What does our budget look like this month? What are we going to spend on? And then you correlate the way you're going to use it for that month. That's one way that couples, handle finances. Yeah. What do you know?
Another way that I've heard of is having one person manage all the finances. It could be either the husband or the wife, but in Lunali Dumalana, okay, so that person is in charge of managing everything, like what goes to this, what goes to this, what goes to that, what goes to that. Yeah.
Interesting. And then there's where couple, but split the bill. You're getting paid, I'm getting paid. We get okay, I'll pay the mortgage, I'll pay for the car. You take care of someone to groceries, bills, and pay the kids' school fees. Some people deal with them like that.
And then another one I heard of is where, let's say, and then some people only bring a portion of what they earn
Yeah.
And then the other person also brings a portion of what they earn. There's no full disclosure of how much this one earns or how much this one earns. And then after, my dad was like, come on now, okay, so we do this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
But they have secret funds because nobody knows exactly how much the other earns.
Yo, finances, I think it's hard enough dealing with finances all alone, like as an individual. So bringing in another person just brings in another layer of complexity. So the honesty that needs to be involved there, and the full disclosure, and the honesty and the transparency needs to be at an all times high, if not absolute, in order for the whole relationship or the marriage to work, right? So that's how people deal with money. I think another one in I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. Let's say there's a situation where the lady or Mosadi on and then the husband is the one working. The husband just drops like a lump sum. This is for the household, run the household with this. Also in that instance, not necessarily a full disclosure. So it's just the husband coming in or the wife. Let me not be biased, right? Maybe it's the husband who stays with the kids gonna pay. How could he 5,000? Go see what you can do. So that's another way that people deal with finances. We're no experts, or financial advisors, but some of the systems we tell I find it difficult to understand how exactly that's going to work out in the end. I think it's certain. I fail to see the sustainability behind certain ways of doing things and handling money, because you need to understand that money is really like the key resource in running any organization or any unit, and marriage is a unit, right? So for your marriage to last and be sustainable, and for you to even leave something for your kids, you need to make sure that you take care of that precious resource, being money.
Which then begs the question, is what's yours really mine?
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle spending? How do you handle like everyday expenses?
Yeah. Interesting stuff. So feel free to tell us, when in your relationship, in your marriage, how do you guys deal with finances? I know instances where, maybe taking back to relationships, like you said earlier, it became very popular sometime last year. If you're a couple, libula savings more, and then each month you contribute maybe $1,000, and that's the money that you spend when you go out. So at no point does one feel like I can spend I'm always taking you out, but when you never take me out. So whenever you go out, there's a bill to settle. That's why both of you contributed to. I don't know. How do you deal with finances in your situation, or in your relationship, or in your marriage? Feel free to leave a comment on that.
Do you feel like what is yours is also the other person's? Can you feel like what's yours is yours? Because I feel like there are a lot of complexities to it. I think maybe we're not there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
True.
Because it might seem easy to say what's yours is mine. But when push comes to shove, when one of us needs a lump sum for something, then that tends to create a bit of friction.
Yeah.
So the question then becomes, how do you handle such situations? How do we handle our finances in such a way that they don't control us and they don't dictate how our relationship is? Because in some relationships, the person with the money wields the most power.
Yeah, most instances.
Yes, and I think maybe that's also part of the reason why we wanted to start off together without anything really.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want an instance where and it gets heated in if it wasn't for me you wouldn't have this. Yeah, so I think that's another reason why we wanted to just start afresh, because when things really get heated, it's very easy to like to remove yourself from a situation and just stand over there and be like, and start counting. So then you ask yourself, how are you going to manage money in such a way that it is not detrimental to your relationship? Because of money. How do you handle that? Because I remember I was very, very I'm not keen on spending other people's money. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Like if you take me out to a restaurant and you're paying, I won't order the most expensive thing on the menu. I won't have dessert. That's me. But when you're married, kind of when you've been dating someone for a very long time, they sort of expect you to like get used to
them spending
money on you.
Yeah.
Because I remember we used to take turns on dates.
Yeah.
So then we went on a date to an expensive restaurant.
Yeah, I remember.
And he ordered a starter.
Negeja 5 course.
I was like, because after he ordered a starter, he just threw my whole budget off.
Hey, I have expensive taste, I won't lie.
So, because now all this time while on dates, I was being very considerate to his money. Next time I didn't want to put him in an uncomfortable situation where at the end where he said,
this one was students, right?
So here I am now calculating how much I have in my card, how much cash I have at hand. But like, what was I supposed to say? Like, excuse you? He already ordered the starter. You can't be like, oh, excuse me, cancel who? Come on, it's already cooking in the back. So
yeah.
But even after that, I still had issues with like spending money that I deemed to be his.
Yeah.
But he's always like, but what's mine is yours. I'm like, is it really?
Yeah. But I think it's also, you're bringing up an important point. You know, the fact that that story, that happened while we're dating. So we've been having money conversations as far back as when we started dating. Because I don't think, we're not naive to think, you know, love fixes everything.
Yeah.
I love you, everything is fine, happily ever after. We acknowledge the fact that there are certain things that were very uncomfortable. We're either uncomfortable talking about or being honest about, but those conversations needed to be had. One of them being money. So from a very early stage in us dating, how do we go on and deal with them? Hence, going on and having those conversations with other people. Yeah, so you've always been weird with money. It's only, you know, maybe
weird.
A year later that we're married that Bonang started being more open about finances, just being comfortable spending our money.
No, but the weird thing is, like there's something weird about za.
We both find it weird.
Even in a store, in the store,
Yeah.
buying groceries, za. I'm like,
We both don't like that.
I'm like, guy, you have the card. Why don't you go to the terminal and swipe? Why do you want to give me the card in front of this whole seshaba?
I think in that instance, we're both weird with money. Even now, because even before you go into the store, you kind of decide, okay, babe, and then, okay, who has the card? You have the card? Do you have the card?
Because it's weird, like, za, moshopo, swipe, do you have?
Yeah.
And then it's just a very weird situation to be in. I feel, for me, I'm sure for them it's like nothing at all. Like it's a breeze.
Maybe we might have gotten like ahead of ourselves. We haven't even like. I know we talked about how people do things, but we never really laid down how we do things. I don't know. Are we putting that out there? we had a conversation about this. If we'd be putting out too much, you know, talking about finances, because we, as much as we try to share as much as we can, we try to draw a bit of a line, But I think we can talk about the basics, right?
We budget together.
Ariane dated, talked about money, started spending each other's money sometime and a date, right? Took turns going on dates.
He means he started spending my allowance.
It was vice versa. You also spent my allowance. So fast forward, being married. Okay, we now pronounce you husband and wife. What's yours is mine. What's mine is yours. They tell you that when you're getting married, but you have no idea what it means, right? Like it sounds very, very simple. It sounds sweet, huh? What's mine is yours, babe. What's yours is mine.
But it's one of those things, it takes time because, like, like after some time, you get used to it. So I could go spend and what report there. Ting 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 ting.
Okay, baby. Like I was saying, so what's mine is yours. Now you are married. So the system that we decided to adopt from the ones that we talked about earlier was okay. At the end of the month, we sit down. Excuse me, Tota Ibidorna, it's not at the end of the month. Every year, December, we have like an annual general meeting for the family. For our family. That's where we draw up that's where we draw up a yearly plan. It happens in December. So December we sit down and like, okay, this next year, or financially, where do we want to be? What are some of the projects that we would like to push? And how much are those going to require? Where's that money going to be coming from? So we set that timeline for okay, maybe first quarter what do I achieve? I say second quarter, third quarter we're gonna achieve 1, 2, 3, and then this is our income versus our expenditure throughout the months, and then at the end of the year we expect to have this much. We can close this project here, we can start this one here, we can close here, we can start here. So that's basically how we do it. And then every month is not necessarily like a brand new conversation. We're just always referencing our yearly plan. Okay, what are we doing right now? Is our projected, like, what is it? Our projected income, is it what we thought it would be? How much are we spending? Let's keep track on our spending. Let's keep track on how much money is coming into the house.
And you'd find that most of the time, your yearly budget is recurring. It's only a few things here and there that are like new, but so is just basic, it's repetitive, it's every month.
And then another interesting thing that I want to bring out here, if you would allow me to share, family secrets. I think one of the challenges that we find ourselves faced with is certain things that crop up. Let's say the budget, let's say the plan, right? I think we read like external factors. But you have to contribute kolisum, right? Family, you need to help out family. Those are other external factors again. So what we've been trying to do, or something that we're trying to establish, is having like a little, maybe it's not a rainy day fund, but you may call it a rainy day fund, where we each month maybe $500 or 1,000 pula, and we read whatever crops up within the year or during the year. We don't necessarily run and settle us to a point where it'll ruin everything that we planned out, but rather we'll just go to that rainy day fund, and then attend to whatever that thing is. So that way, on your trails and what your yearly plan was. So that's something that we're recently trying to put together, and it's a bit of a challenge. Limited resources, Ghana, it's not like we have unlimited money. I know some people, when you're having conversations, they can't 1,000, so you can't expect me to budget, you can't expect us to budget. We live and but if you can't manage 100 pula, you can't manage 1,000. If you can't manage 1,000, you can't manage 10,000. If you can't manage 10,000, you can't manage 100,000. So it starts with the $100, really. For managing money. So as far as the money conversation, it's quite a lot we could get to, but that's just something that we wanted to share today. I don't know if we're leaving anything up there.
There's also one thing that people tend to forget. The what's mine is yours thing. It not only applies to money, But I think that is like a whole different topic. But it also applies to things such as dikoloto.
Yeah.
But I think that is a whole different conversation, because then that one would have to do with being married and yeah, because if we're not married, like why does school stuff have to be mine?
Yeah, you can leave like anytime. But if you're married, hello debt. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to drop a comment. How are you spending your money? How are you relating with money? How's money? How are you guys relating with money in your relationships? How are you relating to money when you are married? Are you comfortable spending your partner's money? Are you comfortable them spending your money? Are you comfortable spending your own money? How do you deal with all of that?
Advice you've received from people about what works best for them, and if you think if it would work for you. Yeah. So thank you for checking out Doek&Tie. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. We love having you. And thank you so much to everyone who's liked the page. And hopefully everything will go back to normal soon.
Yeah.
Well, the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's continue having those uncomfortable but necessary conversations. Be it sex, be it money. The comments are for yeah, so here's 2 more unpleasant conversations, but necessary conversations. Cheers, babe. Cheers to you. Doek&Tie.